Welcome back. It is day 15 of the Every Bit Counts challenge, and today we're making lacto-fermented green beans, otherwise known as dilly beans. We have been preserving just a teeny tiny little bit every day in the month of August, and we've been putting out videos so that hopefully y'all will be preserving right along with us. Today we've got some green beans and we are going to be making these yummy, delicious dilly beans. Super easy fermenting project. So we're gonna make 2 quarts of these, but you can do these in a pint jar. It doesn't matter, you just cut the recipe in half. So for a quart jar, I'm gonna use about 3 cloves of garlic. And my garlic is already peeled, and I'm just crushing it before I put it in to release some of those juices. And I'm gonna put 3 cloves in the bottom of each of my jars. And like we talked about in our other fermenting videos, you want to make sure that your jars and all the equipment you're using are sterile for this process, because these are not going to go in the canner. We're fermenting these, and so they're going to sit at room temperature. The next thing you need is dill. And I don't know, I'm going to sprinkle a tablespoon, maybe a little more, on the bottom of these jars. Really, this is your preference. Usually I would use fresh dill, but our fresh dill is just not going this year. So then comes the fun part. We are gonna put the green beans in the jars. Now, when we do this, I'm gonna go ahead and make 2 layers of these dilly beans, and I'm gonna stack these 2 layers tall. I'm gonna break these in half, and I really wanna wedge them up and down in here. And the reason you wanna wedge them so tightly is because you don't want them floating to the top. This helps you not have to use a canning weight. In some of the recipes we've used a canning weight, though you can, if you don't want to pack them quite so tight, you can use a canning weight or a leaf or anything to keep them under. And I like to use wide mouth jars for these because I can reach my hand down in and pack them really tightly. And as usual, got a scrap bowl going for the chickens, so nothing goes to waste, not even the yucky green bean ends. Now, as you're wedging these in, keep in mind, as with all the other ferments we've done, you want to keep 1.5 inches from the top, which is this measurement right here, from the tip of your finger to that middle bend. All right, both these jars are about 1.5 inches from the top. Now we need to make our brine. For the brine, it's gonna be just like we did yesterday in the fermented onions. We're going to have, for each quart, 2 cups of water to 4 teaspoons of unrefined salt. Now you wanna make sure this water is filtered. Like we talked about yesterday, if you use just tap water, sometimes it's treated with chlorine or things like that, and that can kill some of the enzymes that you're looking to promote when you ferment. So you want to use filtered water to make sure there's none of those in there. Since I'm doing 2 quarts, I'm gonna go ahead and mix up 4 cups of water to 8 teaspoons of salt. All right, and I want to stir that up really good until all of that salt is dissolved. All right, that looks ready to go. Now you want to pour it in until it's about 1.5 inches from the top. Give yourself 1.5 inches of headspace. And now's the time to make sure all of your green beans are covered. You don't have any guys floating to the top. Now the last step is to put lids on them. You can use a regular canning lid, that's totally fine. It's just gonna take a little more maintenance. You're gonna check them every day. You're gonna take the lid off, let the air and the gas come out. With these pickle pipes, you don't have to do that every day. You wanna check, look at them visually, but the air gets expelled through this little pipe on top. I really, really like these. You just set them on and then you twist the ring around, and you're ready to go. And like with all of our other ferments and canned things and freezer things, we always want to label these because You always think you're gonna know, and then sometimes you reach in the back and you're like, what is this? So today is 8:15, and these are dilly beans. I also like to write my ferments on my planner. I write the start date, and I like to write also the date that they're ready to use, because when you have several things going at once, sometimes it's hard to keep track of, and it's annoying to have to go look up, okay, how many days does this one do, and how many days does this one do? And if you just write that information down, you can even write it on the tag. It just makes it a little less of a logistical nightmare. So as for dilly beans, they are going to ferment for 10 to 14 days. Once they're done, put them in cool storage. You can let them stay they'll last for several months. Open them, put them in the fridge, eat them. They're great, but the initial ferment is 10 to 14 days. These are gonna be a delicious treat, and I cannot wait to try them in a couple weeks. I wanna know what y'all have been preserving. We're halfway through the month. Tell us what all fun projects y'all been working on. Some of you have been commenting and letting us know. We love to hear your comments. We love to see what you're working on, especially if you're trying something new. That is so exciting. Let us know, share your ideas, share your great preservation tips. We are so excited to be with you. And that's a wrap for day 15. We hope you'll be back tomorrow. My daughter Taylor is making peaches for the county fair because we're knee deep in the county fair preparation in a couple weeks. We'll be sure to take you along for that journey too when that happens. If you got some value out of this, please hit the like button, give us a comment. If you would like to be notified when we put out new videos, because we are continually putting out videos every day in the month of August about canning and preserving and dehydrating and all the things to stock your pantry, be sure to hit that notification bell and the subscribe button. Thank you so much.